The market is doing quite well. And in my opinion, this is the beginning. This is nothing yet. And I want to show you why exactly. And also, I have a pretty good tip for you that I think is gonna work fantastic. And maybe you already thought about it, but if you haven't, then definitely stick around. And 2 weeks ago, I said, like, I cannot even call this an opportunity, this opportunity easy or obvious. It's more brain dead, right? Literally every chart that needs to go up in order for alts to do well is oversold on the big time frames. And the things like the USDT dominance, the Bitcoin dominance are extremely overbought, is what I meant. Is what I meant on the same time frame. Sorry, but if you are bearish right now on the mid time frame, you must be absolutely blind. Now, this still applies. We now had a pump right here, right? Mainly for Bitcoin. Right. And this is nice to see. And this is good to see that we have such a big breakout. But again, this is nothing yet. And I want to show you exactly why and what we can realistically expect from this. Because I think that this is the type of pump in crypto that you don't get often. But when you do get it, it's the type of pump that people totally don't expect, and that will catch a lot of people off guard with how big this could actually get. So welcome to the Fomo Factory. Like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, turn the bell notification on. Soon, tomorrow, day after tomorrow, for motion, blame yourself on Spotify, iTunes, Deezer, YouTube, and etc. So let's start with Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin was in this falling wedge, broke out, and the breakout could be quite big. Now, why could it be quite big? Because this is a huge falling wedge, right? This has been going down for like 3 months since January. It's now April, right? And yeah, the bigger the downtrend, the bigger the rise is eventually going to be. Now, I did say that I do expect short term a good rejection and a correction and a dip, and it's all kind of the same. Why? First off, people finally see gains again after a long time. So if anything, people probably have learned like, okay, I should take my profits, right? I should take something out. So that's first. Two, on the smaller time frame, so on the daily in this case, it's all pretty overbought right now, right? That's another reason. Three, Bitcoin is sitting at some good resistance. I haven't drawn this, but I don't know why it's here, but it should be more like here where we are right now. This is some good resistance at the moment between 90 and 93, give or take. You see all the support that we had right here is resistance right here. And now we have our first attempt. And it could be that we break it in the first attempt, but it's usually not how it goes. Also, on the weekly, you can see that we are now for the first time in 2 months above the bull market support band. The last time we were actually above the bull market support band was in beginning of March, right? Like, not even really. It's more like the end of February, right? So we are now finally above that as well. But this has to close there on the weekly, right? And we have a long week to go, and anything could happen. So it's a little too soon to cheer for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get a short-term cool off, and the dip that comes from that is a dip worth buying, guys. Like, in my opinion, like, you should not buy every 10% dip. This dip will be worth buying because we have all the confirmation right now. Also, when you look at the altcoin market, you can see that it's sitting at a lot of resistance at the moment. If you look at this line that goes back all the way to 2018, right, which was holding as support, always, right, except for the moments where we got a little black swan-ish kind of behavior in crypto, right? We went below it during the COVID crash quite a lot, and we stayed there for multiple weeks. But overall, hey, it was a bullish moment in crypto, and it was very oversold, right? And therefore, we flew up that hard, and the money print went on, etc., etc. Anyway, that line is where we broke down below right now as well. I don't want to compare this to COVID, but in some degree, it kind of was an unexpected event for a lot of people that Trump was doing so Trumpy. And I think the markets panicked too much. It got sold off way too hard if you actually think about what the news actually was. Like, it was nothing that like huge compared to COVID, for example. Right. So, but we now have that line as resistance. But we also, like we had for Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is in a falling wedge and it broke out. The altcoin market is also in a falling wedge, but it didn't had the breakout yet. Altcoins, they follow Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin can break out that hard above it, I do expect that the altcoin market will as well. But is this the move already? I don't know. So far, we are getting a rejection at that point, right? So, yeah, so far, the altcoin market, purely based on this chart, isn't looking bullish yet, right? We have a high, we have a low, we have a lower high, a lower low, a lower high so far, right? So, if anything, based on this chart, we can go down here. I don't think so, though. I do think that the market will sell off again, right? That people will take their profits. But again, on the bigger time frames, everything looks fantastic. Now, I want to talk about why this move is like nothing yet. Nothing yet. And we can expect way, way, way higher, right? Now, the tip that I do want to give you is look, like, if you ever feel like, okay, this is my goal, like I want to achieve this amount of money in crypto this cycle, whatever, right? If you feel like, is that achievable? What you can do, of course, is you can take a look like, hey, what did the altcoin market do this week, right? The others chart. It went up, rounded up 10%, right? Okay, cool. How is your portfolio doing this week, right? And I usually take a screenshot every day real quick so I can look back at these things. Now, if your portfolio is up 5% or something, you should consider getting into other coins, right? Because these are only the top coins. If you are underperforming the top coins, then you are not doing that well when the market goes up, right? If your portfolio is up like 20%, whatever, then it means, hey, you are in the riskier coins. But at the moment that the market goes up, you also get more reward. Then you are fine, right? Then you are fine. And you can now take a look like, hey, how much money did I make on a 10% pump? If that's $1,000 for you, then you can do a little calculation, and that's all very speculative, right? But you can do a little calculation, right? Okay, 10% pump is $1,000 for me. Great. I expect a 150% pump, right? So 15 times as much. Cool. So I can make $15,000 if this pump, this move plays out. Is that enough for me? No? Oh, shit. I have to adjust my strategy, right? Like, that's how you can do it. Now, why is this nothing yet, in my opinion? Well, what we are seeing right now, right? The altcoin market from the wick low until where we are right now is up 30%, right? And if you look at some individual coins, we have, I happen to have this in my screen, right? Trader Joe is up 56%. If we look at Render, for example, Render from the wick low is up 82%. If you look at an AVAX, right? Like not even the low caps right here. AVAX is up 54%. So what you'll notice is that a lot of coins in the last couple of weeks are up 50%, 100%, anything in between, some a little more, some a little less. But the overall 50 up to 100%. Cool. Based on what though? Well, based on the fact that the Bitcoin dominance went up, right? So it's not that this is a run for altcoins. Altcoins are just going up because Bitcoin is going up. We all know that Bitcoin eventually will be higher than what it is today. So when it's only coming to that, then there's nothing to worry about. Your altcoins will do fine, right? Also, of course, knowing that the Bitcoin dominance won't go up forever, right? Like this eventually will go down, and will the 786 be the place, right? That's coming in at around 66% or something like that. Could be, it's a possibility, right? But eventually there will be an altcoin run. So if you have coins that are already up 50 or 100%, remember that they're up like that based on a Bitcoin run, right? This is the worst kind of run for the altcoin market. So yeah, if you're already up 50%, then you're doing great, right? Now, other than that, what's really interesting is that if you look at the USDT dominance, right? USDT dominance went down with 20%, give or take, right? From this moment until from this point until the range lows, I'm not talking about the eventual lows, I don't know where that is going to be, but to the current range lows at least, is down another 20-25%. So based purely on this range right here, can altcoins from this point do the exact same thing or even a little bit more as what they did from these lows until here? Based on that range, yes. Right? So again, if an AVAX is already up 54%, then we can expect at least another 50%, right? And it takes more USDT to pump these coins, definitely, but a good average. So can we expect an AVAX to, for example, go to $34 in this upwards trend already, right? I'm not talking about the final move. I think that's going to be way crazier, but it's possible, $34, right? And therefore, if you look at that, then you're already sitting at a 2.5x in one move on a relative low risk altcoin. That's pretty decent. And therefore, I've been so vocal about, guys, it's low. This is time to buy. This is obvious. This is brain dead. This is everything is screaming up. And please do not FUD or whatever at the lows. Like, you don't want to do that there. Lows are for buying so you can get the rewards whenever it's high, right? Like, it's that easy. Other than that, it's getting a little bit better in my opinion. Because that's just based on the USDT dominance, right? That's just based on how much money can go from USDT into altcoins. That's it. But there are more places to get money from than USDT. We have USDC, right? We have Bitcoin. We have money that's not even in the market yet, right? So this is just a fraction of what can come. And that already let certain altcoins do extremely well. And like I said earlier, like an AVAX, for example, here it was $40 and it pumped with like 50%. It went to $60 in a week, right? Well, that it was already high. There was already a lot of liquidity. And look how easy this pump was, right? So, of course, it is super easy to, from this point, put out a couple hundred percentages, right? It's the same amount of money that can go in, but as there's lower liquidity, the chart goes up higher. So getting 2x's from these bottoms right here or more is actually really easy to do, right? The only thing that you have to do is buy when things are really low, when the sentiment is really bad, when all the indicators are... That's what we discuss a lot. Now, is it worth buying now? Look, over the long term, I think that buying right now is fine, right? Like, I mean, if you look again at the total altcoin market, look, I don't know where we are compared to last cycle, but let's say that you know we have mid-cycle top one, mid-cycle top two, right? And that's comparable to do this, and we just came out of that mini, I don't want to call it a black swan, but something, you know, similar to this. Then it might be that we're somewhere here, right? Yeah. I mean, if you here felt like, it's too late to buy, was it? Right. And I'm not saying that we are here, but that's only what we know in the future. And it's a matter of taking the risk reward right now. And I think that over the long term, bro, I mean, everything is still oversold as hell, right? Like if you look on the weekly, the it just started to tick upwards, right? This is nothing. This is absolutely nothing. If you look at this here, it just started to tick upwards as well. Exactly this point, right? Where we are right now on the stochastic RSI, right? Where was the chart sitting? Here, right? Look what came after. And it's here. It's kind of the same, right? Also, we just started to tick up. This was here. This was the tick up, right? This is the beginning. This is not the move yet. And again, will we go down down in the meantime? We could, whatever, right? But again, there's more. Because yeah, if you look at the USDT and USDC dominance, you can also see that from the absolute wick high until right now, it went down with 19.3%. If you look how far it is until the next range, it's 33%, right? That's a way bigger move. That's almost 2 times as much. And that's just the current range, right? That's not a breakout. That's the range. That's just ranging, right? That's what it is. So that's and also with stochastic RSI pointing down, confirmation is there. Now, apart from that, if you look at the dollar, yeah, look, I mean, this is insane. This is insane. I showed this before, but the dollar is weaker than what it has been this whole cycle. Now, if you overlay the altcoin market on this, you can get a little of an idea of what this could do, right? Here, the dollar was really weak, right? Really weak. Whenever it went up, what happened to the altcoin market? The altcoin market shot up crazy, right? Again, here the dollar was really weak. What happened when it started to go up? The altcoin market, look, this purple line, it's like vertical, right? Now the dollar, again, is really weak. It's even weaker, right? And you see that we have this little wick on the dollar right here, just a little wick. That's it. It's still red. It's nothing more than a wick, right? And that already made alts do 50, 100%, right? And look where we are still. This is absolutely insane, right? This is absolutely insane. Also, if you look how altcoins are doing, like this chart, these candles are the amount of stables flowing into coins, to put it like that. As you can see, we were sitting as low as we were sitting as where we were in the beginning of January 2023. Let's take a look where the market without these stables, where it was at the beginning of 2023. And then we have to go to the total minus USDC and USDT. That was here. That was this place, exactly the same time frame, right? We were now at this level. Right? What the hell, right? And we now have a little uptick right here, right? But it's not that we are already like back here or here or here, right? Or here, or wherever. No, we're just here. We are sitting still as low as where we were in August 2024. That's where we are right now. You know what happened to the altcoin market in that point? That was this run that we had end of last year where people made 5, 10x's. That's where we are now. We have a long way to go. That's my point. Therefore, I'm saying, like, guys, it's nice that we see some gains finally. Yay, we're used to, seeing down only for a couple months, right? But this is nothing. And I hate to see that some people that were bearish are now like, oh, bullish. Like, man, you should have been bullish weeks ago, right? Like that was the perfect moment. And you should not try to time that. But a lot of people will turn bullish after they get their confirmation, right? We saw the confirmation happening, right? And this is now also on the weekly, right? Big time frame this is, right? A big time frame. This is now also pointing up, right? You know when the biggest gains are made, if you look at this momentum indicator, the stochastic RSI, not when it is pointing up, whenever it is up, right? We are far from that. It's going to take, at least a month, at least, right? And then we are here, right? And at that moment, you see at the chart where that was here, right? Then we still have this way to go, or even more, depends how long it stays overbought. But, you know, again, this is nothing yet. And if you again overlay the altcoin market on this chart, you can see as well, right? Whenever this finally goes up, the altcoin market flies. Right here as well, this chart started to go up, the altcoin market flies. Right? This just has a little uptick right now, right? Like it's not even really a reversal. It's more of a bounce so far. Maybe even be a dead cat bounce, right? The only reason I don't think that this all is a dead cat bounce is because of all the other indicators pointing that there's a real reset going on right now, right? That's something different than what we have seen over here, for example, where we were this low and went up. That's a dead cat bounce, right? Because this was still pointing down, but this is now in an uptick, right? So again, nothing yet. And I think that this move that I'm describing right now, which is going to happen or is happening, will take a lot of time. I think that this could play out in a matter of 3-4 months. But in a matter of 3-4 months, there's a good possibility that you can 4-5x or more your portfolio, depending on how you're playing it. Right? It is really crazy what we are seeing right now. And again, I want to repeat what I've showed in the last video, where my screen, by the way, wasn't showing everything correctly. Excuse me for that. But if you look, this is the alt season index, right? Now I want to bring that up again because again we are seeing altcoins doing quite well right now because low liquidity, so hard pumps. But this has nothing to do with altcoins. It's just the fact that Bitcoin, it had a dead cross, which is super bullish. It was super oversold. But altcoins are just following, right? That's it. But it has nothing to do with altcoins. We are in full Bitcoin season right now. Full Bitcoin season, right? We haven't been in this deep of Bitcoin season since October 2023. But when is the best time to buy alts? And not when we are already in that altcoin territory, right? Last time we really were there was in 2022, right? A little peak right here in December where everybody was printing, but it wasn't really like it was, that was it, right? Therefore, we haven't seen shit in this market yet, right? But when you want to buy altcoins, when you want to position, when you want to sell your Bitcoin for altcoins or just whatever, buy with dollars, but that's when we are here, right? Not when we are here. The cool thing is we first go here and then go here. This is a range, right? There's no better moment right now. Not a better moment. And also, this thing right here is absolutely beautiful. What I've showed before as well. I'm going to show it again because it's so fucking beautiful. If you look at the risk metrics, right? Risk metrics are based on a lot of different indicators. The higher the risk, it goes from 0 to 1. The higher the risk on a coin, the more of an indicator it is that you want to sell it. If you look at Bitcoin here, for example, and you hide them all, and you only look at the high risk levels between 0.8 and 1, right? What does that tell you? Every single time the risk is that high, it is just a fantastic moment to dump it, right? Because the chart after that is going down, right? And I can show this on a lot of different coins, but overall you can see it very clearly right here. High risk is chart eventually going down hard. And if you look at the low risk, right, that's usually where you want to step in. Cool. Now, Bitcoin is at the moment in the middle. Totally fine, right? But you can also apply this risk metric on the Bitcoin dominance. And if you look at the Bitcoin dominance and you look where we are right now, look how flashing red this is right now, 0.92. right? We just saw with Bitcoin, when it's that high, the chart does, right? Every single time, no exception in full history, right? Now, if you look, this is now only showing the 0.9 and 1 risk where we are right now, right? Here it shows, sorry. Look where we are right now on the Bitcoin dominance, right? It wasn't even this high before we went into alt season last cycle. It wasn't even flashing at that color in the first place when we went into alt season in 2017, right? The risk is now higher. So, although big shout out to Benjamin Cohen for this platform and everything he has done this cycle and how he nailed it. But I do want to mention that, in my opinion, this is the worst moment ever, this whole cycle, to be bullish on the Bitcoin dominance. I know that Ben still is like, "Yeah, it can go a little, it can go maybe a little higher, right?" But it's the same as saying that, hey, it is very likely that Bitcoin is going to 300K, but it might go to 90, so let's short it, right? Like, what are you trying to time right here, right? Whatever happens in the last little bit of move, you see the big picture, right? And I think that a lot of people are following him because he nailed it. But you should not forget that he's rich, right? If he misses out on alt season, he can afford that. He makes his money with Bitcoin, no problem. A lot of us, though, we want more access. We need these altcoins, right? So it's time to, if you are still on the Bitcoin train, jump off it, right? Jump right now. Get on the alt train right now. It is so obvious right now, right? So flashing red right now. And what backs it up? When is the best time to be in the altcoin market apart from that? When retail is not here, right? Now, if we look at retail, is retail here at the moment? Well, no. At 0.0, it's 0.009, right? The YouTube subs, etc. 0.009. This was kind of comparable, I think. It was 0.004, right? Like, this was quite comparable. That was at 5 November 2024. 5 November 2024, right? If we go there, that was here. Literally, before, like, literally here, right? Like, come on, man. It's insane, right? Was here. This is where we are, right? When it comes to the social metrics. Plus everything that we just discussed. So it's so many obvious charts putting together, and then we just take a look at something completely different, and that says, yes, I confirm fully, right? Content is a little repetitive maybe lately, but I just want to print this in, like, guys, don't fuck this up, right? This is going to be bigger than most people think, right? And this is just everything that I've shown is like based on the money that's here already, right? If you look at the total crypto market, right, it's sitting, I mean, it's sitting at 3 trillion basically right now, right? 3 trillion. It's high, right? It's a matter of just money flowing from USDT, USDC, high caps, and Bitcoin to altcoins. That did not happen at all yet, right? So if you already enjoyed this move, wait until a little money starts to flow, right? Again, USDC and USDT dominance have a long, long, long way to go down to just get back to their range lows. The Bitcoin dominance hasn't even started to go down. Can you imagine how big that move is going to be? But also, if you look at how the money flows from the high caps into the low caps, right? From the XRPs, the Solanas, the Cardanos, Dogecoin, whatever, everything in the top 10 into things outside of the top 10, then this is the chart And you can see that, oh, wow, we're breaking out, by the way. But you can see that, look, we are sitting at levels where we were in June 2023, right? What's June 2023? Let me look that up on the chart. June, whoa, 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 that's here, right? These are bear market lows. That's where we are according to the money flow. It is insane. It's insane. Like every chart that I look at is every time it's like, oh, whoa, it's that good right now, right? Like, whoa. So, but going back to this chart, by the way, um, again, big falling wedge, right? You've seen the falling wedge on Bitcoin, right? That we broke out of right now. That started in January, the end of January, right? And Bitcoin has quite a huge breakout already, right? Well, if you look at this falling wedge, this one started in December, right? At the beginning of December, so 2 months earlier. So this pattern is way bigger. We are breaking out right now, right? For the first time this whole year, right? And that December move, I think a lot of people remember December, right? Where alts were doing quite well, right? This was the December move right there, where everybody 4 or 5x their portfolio. That was this, right? From high to low caps. This right here. We are now sitting here. Look how much more room we have now, right? It's insane. It's really, I cannot describe it as anything else as really fucking insane. Demonetization kind of insane. Fuck. I don't need that. We're getting rich. But, and also, again, if you look at everything that needs to confirm it, right? Also, the stochastic RSI on this thing, it's ticking up finally. The last time it was ticking up was that December move, right? After it was that oversold. The time before that, was by far not as long oversold as where we are right now, but that was here at this point, right? This, look how much more oversold we were right now compared to this. But look what came from this move. So when it comes to that, it looks even better than what it did from the bear market lows. Every chart is insane. Insane. And I cannot describe to you guys how important it is. Like I don't want to make this come across like, wow, you should buy because I'm looking at these charts and I am reading them like this. But I think that everybody who looks at certain they I think there's no way to be bearish right now. I think all the ways are totally out of the window. I said it a while back, like I try to find some reasons to look like, hey, are there some bearish scenarios? And I wasn't really able to find them. But now I feel like, dude, now it's like more than obvious, right? And again, the altcoin run is waiting. We have to wait for it for a long time, right? But that doesn't mean that it's not coming, right? Last cycle, alts got wrecked against Bitcoin for more than 1,000 days. It's now the same, right? But also, if I now look at altcoins dominance, we have a beautiful double bottom right here. Also, the stochastic completely oversold and also ticking up right now. Again, what happened the last time when we were ticking up? That was the December run. What was the time before that? The tick up here, so here, right? That was the bear market from bear to bull market run, the first run. The third leg is here, right? And will we get one more rejection before we get that? And I think there's a good chance. But therefore, if we get one more dip, that will be the most obvious dip ever in crypto history to buy, right? There is not more confirmation than what I'm seeing right now. It's crazy. It's really, really crazy. Um, Also, let's real quick. I don't want to make this too long, but I always do it anyway. What's quite insane though is that if you look at the total crypto market, so this is not Bitcoin, this is the total crypto market, the blue line. And if you look at its fair value, that's the red line, you can be like, whoa, it's getting bought up, it's getting overheated. We are undervalued at the moment, right? Now, I want to make it very clear. In every single bull market post-halving year, we are not just going to or above the fair value. We are going way fucking above it. Here, 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 and here, right? And in a bear market or in a period where it's all, we are spending a lot of time around it, below it, right? We're spending a lot of time here, peaking above it a little bit, below, peaking above it a little bit. It's nothing different than this right here, right? Nothing different than this right here or here. But this move, this move, this move, they haven't started yet, right? We have seen some euphoria. We have seen, but it wasn't the type of euphoria that I can remember from last markets where it was fucking crazy. Yeah, I think that we will get that though, right? But too many people were expecting it. And we saw a lot of disbelief lately. And that's great because that's what you need, right? And yeah. And to be honest, like, what if we get to just to the fair value, right? Worst case scenario, if we do way worse than every single bull market out there. Well, let's say the top also happens end of 2025, right? Then the fair value for the crypto market is $5 trillion by that time. Again, 5 trillion. There was not a single bull market where we didn't go way above it. Okay. So saying that we go to 5 trillion is fucking bearish. Okay. But 5 trillion, really bearish case scenario, right? Oh, yeah. That's here, right? That's this. This is the bear case scenario. 5 trillion. I'm so excited, guys. This run is going to be so much bigger than people think. And maybe I'm wrong. But in that case, if this doesn't turn out to play out like this, I will never look at charts again because they will all be lying to me. And I won't trust anybody in the world right now anymore. So please, again, if it goes now into a correction in the coming week, coming 2 weeks, whatever, I wouldn't be surprised. But again, that would be the dip to buy. And even Ethereum, I think, is gonna do insane. If you look at the Ethereum dominance, then I feel like, whoa, we got this chance once before, right? And you can call it that, or you can call it a chance or an opportunity. Because usually with these kind of assets, low is opportunity, right? It's not always that. So I would say do take your profits on the way up, right? Don't be like, oh my God, it's so fucking bullish. I'm not going to sell before I get a 10x, right? That would be stupid. Take your profits on the way up. Anything could happen. And, we just noticed that if you don't take profits and whatever happens, you wish you did, right? Again, crypto, it will go up again, but it eventually will go down again as well, right? And make sure that you are like, well positioned whenever it's down again, so you could take advantage of that. I have a little trouble describing how bullish I am, and all the time I see a new chart again, and I'll be like, oh, I want to show this, I want to show that, but it's just too much, man. If one last thing in this case, because this is the Bitcoin dominance together with the Ethereum dominance and the stable market dominance. So this is basically everything in the market except for altcoins, right? Look how high this is, right? This is the current range, and this is the alt season territory, right? Just going to the lower side of the current range is down 8%. Again, last time we did that was in the December run, and that's just ranging. That's not even an alt season, right? Right here, party time, real party time, right? And yeah, like what a surprise, completely overbought. It's ridiculous how great things look. It's actually ridiculous. I hope you remember this video in a couple months, guys. Really, really, really. I hope it's helpful. Don't trade based on this, but please take this as a part of your research. And like, okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. Long enough. Thank you for watching. Bye. Subscribe, by the way. Like the video. Bye.